All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jackie Pratt, and I'm the Senior Product Manager here at Capture Higher Ed. Thanks for joining our webinar here today. I wanted to go over a few things before we get started. All listeners, you are in listen-only mode, so if you do have any questions, please type them into the questions tab on the control panel. I'll be monitoring the questions throughout the webinar so we can make sure we get all of those answered for you. Today, our presenter is Todd Helm. He is our Digital Project Manager at Capture and knows all things related to our digital products. Todd, would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself and get started?
Hey everyone, good afternoon. My name's Todd Helm and I'm the Digital Product Manager here at Capture, and I oversee all things DDT, which stands for Digital Display Targeting. Today I'm going to go through a couple different topics and essentially do an overview of all of our DDT products that we offer and some best practices, how to use them in your admissions office. Also, I'd like to do a demo of the DDT dashboard that we have in Engage that combines clicks from DDT ads and also integrates CBE information. And lastly, I'll go over some tips of strategy, creative, conversion tracking, and some things to avoid. Okay, so I'll just jump in. First product that we have is behavioral retargeting. Most of you all have heard about retargeting, probably may use it, or have definitely seen or been a victim of retargeting. A good example is if you go to a website, add something to your cart, a pair of shoes, and then leave without paying, you may see a banner ad of those shoes, or just any particular website that you go to and then leave. You kind of start to see banner ads. Behavioral retargeting is essential, and it is, I like to call it like the foundation of your multi-channel digital marketing strategy. Everybody needs to use it. With all the distraction rates and with, for example, somebody applying to college is a big decision and they want to do lots of research on you. It's very important to follow those people with your brand and drive them back to the site. So in today's world, we can do some really cool stuff with retargeting as far as, your messaging is really customized to the audiences, depending on their behavior, on the website, their intent, their geolocation, and more. So, for instance, somebody can come to your site with low intent and just bounces quickly from a certain page. We can hit them with just a general branding message, or we can look at people that have come to your site, spent a lot of time, viewed 5 or more pages. Obviously, they may have more higher intent, and we hit them at a more aggressive level with more aggressive messaging to maybe push to apply and so forth. To the next one here. The next product that we have is household IP targeting. We work with a local vendor here that has a patent pending technology that has the ability to match IP addresses based on the physical address. So we talked about retargeting, and that's what happens when the people come to your site and then leave. Household IP targeting is one of our products to get people to your site initially. Not only that, it is a product, I like to call it a list product. In higher ed, as you know, lots of times we have the luxury of having lists that we purchase or acquire. So we can take those, all we need is a last name, street address, and zip code, and El Toro can then match those households with a 95% accuracy, and not only that, we can reach not only prospective students, but also the parents. Another list product that we have is email targeting. Essentially, all we need is a list of email addresses to upload, and our ad partners match those email addresses to browser cookies, allowing us to serve ads to those individuals. Think of it as you go around the web and log in with your email everywhere you go. Our ad partners can securely match those and basically say, this is you, and start serving you ads. The two things to point out about these last two products is that these are very much can be, you're talking to people that may have never heard of you before or ever been to your site. So it is important to, that's why this makes these products so great, but it's also important to use strong creative, considering that they may have never heard of you. So examples of that being on ads are enticing scholarship information, like you can get up to this amount per year, etc. But I'll get into some more creative best practices later. The next product we have is called Social Search. Many of you have also heard of this before. This is where we actually can go in and generate new leads by building custom audiences through Facebook and Instagram. And these custom built audiences are built through Facebook's plethora of data. So based on their demographics, location, interest, education level, degree type, whether they just are, whether they're in high school, getting out of high school, also whether they just graduated college. If you're, this is a great way to find young adults who want to, for your grad programs, online transfer. The options are pretty much limitless when it comes to building these audiences. So I recommend this. This is one of the greatest forms of prospecting that you can have. I do want to mention it next, and I'll go to some ads here, but watch out for ad fatigue. And when I say that, Facebook and Instagram ads are great. They're very the viewability on them is very high. They're highly engaging, but with that comes ad fatigue, which essentially you can't run the same ad for a long time, or you shouldn't, or your performance starts to plummet. So one of those are definitely things to consider. Here's a couple examples that I pulled of great targeted ads. This is actually one on the left, the one that I was served, and I loved it because it was a great example of being targeted. This is the MBA at Dayton program. It says complete your MBA online in as little as a year from Dayton while working for full-time. What that says is awesome. We're in Louisville, Kentucky, so Dayton isn't far. They know that I am a young adult that is currently working full-time and served me this ad. So, and then here on the right, this is one of our clients, excuse me, Sweet Briar. This is a women's only college, so it's very highly engaged. And then Sweet Briar is one of the nation's premier liberal arts and science colleges for women. Learn more, and of course the audience we built around there was just for women between a certain age group and a certain geolocation, and so on. The last and final product we have is called GeoIP targeting. We also use GeoIP targeting through El Toro. So what comes here is that same IP matching technology that they have patented. And essentially what this does is serve ads over any geolocation. I say a college campus here because this is what we mostly use it for, is transfer campaigns. So community colleges around your institution or wherever you'd like, you can serve ads, so anyone that's logged into the network on that school, on that campus, can receive ads from your school saying to transfer, etc. So a great way that the fact that we're just sending these ads over the network and the Wi-Fi is that people that are logged into the campus Wi-Fi typically have to be enrolled to get on to those networks. So you're not wasting your precious budget spend on people walking by on the street, etc. And here I just wanted to kind of give a few examples of some ads based on product, because it's always a big question that I get. A lot of times people just think that you should run the same ad for all of the different products that you're using in your multi-channel marketing, and that shouldn't really be the case, because different things, different products, you may be talking to people again that have never been to your site, or maybe they have, or what did they do on your site, and what's their level of intent. So we have a couple ads from our clients here that I like. So, oh, excuse me, again, I'm a first timer. So this is a retargeted ad that we use for Toledo, and this is a great ad that kind of adds a little humor in it. Can't stop thinking about UT. We can't stop thinking about you either. Take me to Toledo. Not much call to action here. It's just that we're keeping the brand in front of previously visited visitors, and kind of adding in a little cleverness to say ha and maybe click the ad. This one right here to the bottom, we know just what you're thinking. Will my credits transfer? We use this for our GeoIP campaigns to local community colleges for Toledo. And again, a little clever, a little stronger call to action. This took them to a page about information about your credits transferring. Sweet Briar here, this is just again, a standard retargeted banner, and kind of just, I generally like it. Again, it's a women's only college, and kind of asking yourself who do you want to be, and then encouraging to come back and apply. One to the right is a good example of like one you would use in like your list products, like household IP targeting or email targeting, because many people may not have heard of Biola. You're reaching out and saying, hey, you can get up an annual award up to $18,000, which is enticing. Also, the button here is See My Aid, which took them to a financial calculator. So just to kind of recap about all of our products. So retargeting keeps brand in front of the previously visited prospects and helps drive them back to convert. Our two, use your name lists with email targeting and household IP targeting to deliver relevant messages to prospects and parents. Reach new prospects through social prospecting by building those custom audiences and serving on Instagram and Facebook. And last but not least, influence your transfer students by serving ads over those community college or local colleges networks. Here I just wanted to kind of give an example of a success story, how retargeting can work with CVE and influence people to take action. So this is an example from a client of ours. Michael came to Osbury's site on 3/30/17, clicked a retargeted banner ad after he left, which brought him back to the site. And then CVE served a toaster, which is at the bottom, which helped him encourage to inquire about online and graduate programs. So Michael actually came to the site, in which he was anonymous, left, returned, filled out a form, and identified himself and received information. So this is a prime example of what retargeting can do. Of course, we would love every single time to have retargeting influence a click and then an automatic application, but we all know sometimes that's not the case. So these are like the small wins that are crucial to including in your channel approach. Okay. And this is just a screenshot of Michael here, and it shows where he came in. This is our DDT dashboard, which I will show you next. I'll actually just do that here. All right. So here is our DDT dashboard in Engage. I'm just showing you a client of ours that has a few campaigns running. They did have more running, but these are the most current. So for example, we see we have household IP targeting, which we have the title of the campaign, start and end dates, impressions, click-through rates, and all that good stuff. Retargeting and email targeting. I'll just show you an example. This one is actually ended, but it has some good data in here for demo purposes. So you can click into any campaign and get some richer data and some deeper dives into the in the campaign as far as performance. So if you look down here, it gives an overall view of the performance and most importantly the CVE metrics. So out of this campaign, it was running for a good while. 360 people are known that clicked ads. And out of those 360, the known statuses are here. We had 50 inquiries, 34 applicants, and 42 people had met. And what you can do now is see the visitor stream on how people click. We have someone here that is enrolled. You can click into their name.
Hey, we had a question come in. Under known statuses, which ones aren't included in there, like our admit or enrolled included?
Yeah, so these are just like the top 4 statuses that are highlighted. You can actually go down to identified, which will just show you all identified visitors after this loads, and then you can these are all the statuses here you can get the population down to. So I'll just go back to taking a second to load. Apologies. So it just in here is Corey's contact profile. It is the same as what you're used to seeing in regular CVE, except if you scroll down, this person is enrolled, so you see how many times it takes for. Oh, this is a really big list. So all the way down here, this dot right here indicates a DDT visit, and that's how you tell. You can click into their name and go over and what they were served and how they got there. So there's the indicator there for all your students that are in, or prospects that are in the DDT screen. It's that blue dot there is the indicator that they came in from the DDT campaign. Okay, so one second here. Okay, last I just wanted to share a few tips on strategy and creative and a couple things to avoid and the importance of conversion tracking. I just wanted to, again, highlight a few things, questions that I often get So one of the first things to highlight is landing pages and the importance of landing pages and ensuring that they're optimized for the creative and what you're saying. So what I mean by that is oftentimes you'll see an ad say, hey, do this, but it lands you on a page that's really busy, or it's really plain, and doesn't like give you an option to apply when you land there. You really want to always make sure you know what, obviously what's being said on the creative, but checking out where they land, and is it easy, is it confusing to get them to do what they want to do. Also, another common thing I see is lots of general branding or general messaging on banner ads. So just saying something simple, or just maybe your school's name and your tagline, and then just saying learn more. That's great, and those work for like retargeting, and you just want to keep your brand in front of their face. But if you are pushing for clicks to return to the site or action, and especially if you're targeting people that have never heard of you, you really want to focus on certain things to bring in a stronger verbiage, like scholarship offerings, anything that's enticing. Something like, we have a client, it's like get your 4-year degree in 3, learn more, calculate your score, or things like that, asking them to do something. Ad fatigue I talked about a little bit ago, but it is an important thing to always consider. That's why here at Capture, we constantly optimize our campaigns, switch out creative, because, and it also plays a role in frequency as well. You don't want to get people sick of your ad. You don't want to serve them too much. You don't want to serve them too little, but also you don't want to serve somebody the same ad for over a 90-day period. We've all seen it. We're just kind of like, oh, sick of it, and then what happens is banner blindness sets in. So it's like you don't even notice what's in front of your face. The last is the importance of what you're asking to do, and I talked about this on the first bullet point. And just a few more examples. Deadlines and sense of urgency, all these things are really important to consider when you're asking, when you're putting a banner out there. When you're cruising around websites, there's so much going on in our fast-paced lives, and the websites themselves are busy, and we only have like 2 seconds to capture someone's attention. So, things like images are great. You don't want too much copy. Certain colors like that pop are also good to stand out, and things like that. So, does anyone have any questions?
We had one more question come in. So this is from a current partner. They do not have any DDT products right now, but they are interested. Do you provide any reporting from the dashboards that you were showing earlier?
Yeah. Let me hop over again. So on every page of the DDT screen, you have an export up here which can pull the visitor report and highlights of just this campaign. But you can also go back to the main screen, which highlights all your campaigns, and you have a couple different options to pull from here. So the overview report will give you an in-depth look of all these campaigns and how they're doing.
All right, sounds good. So that's all for the questions. Thank you for hosting this webinar. It's been very informative. Everyone that is online right now, we will be sending out a recording of this presentation in an email with also a few follow-up notes for you. Feel free to share it with your team and let us know if you have any questions or need any further clarification.
Thank you.
All right, bye everyone, thanks.